Hello everyone. So today in this video, let's talk about partnerships in business. It's interesting. We've been talking about so many things. If you missed the previous videos, please go and watch them. Kolade is such a resource. I mean, I can't believe that I've been very calm, in recording these videos, by the way, with Kolade, because, Kolade is my very good friend, and we just business, we just career, we just everything, and everything rolls into the G. So we're always laughing and just flowing with everything. So I feel like this is the most serious I've been in a conversation with Kolade. So thank you, Kolade, for sticking with me in recording these videos. Seriously. But so for this final video, I wanted Kolade to touch on partnerships in business, and that's because it's done business in different continents. Um, I would say that even in the corporate environment, right? We have people struggling with collaboration with they will say there are certain ethnicities that they struggle with collaborating, sharing of information and things like that. So, Kolade, can we talk today about, synergies for business success? And how can we, thrive, in these first world countries, in terms of partnerships and growing? Because sometimes to be able to grow your business, you actually do need some kind of partnership. So for businesses that would need some level of partnerships, what would you say they should be thinking about?
Well, partnership is very key, especially because again, if you relate with the what people say as to if you want to go fast, go alone, and if you want to go really far, go together. So I've seen the power and what the outcome of partnership, good partnerships can deliver. I don't mean any type of partnership, but good ones.
Yeah.
So we have many examples: Google, Larry Page, and Oga Brain. They've been able to deliver back-to-back success off the back of strong partnerships.
Okay.
And it's not is widespread gist. I call it beer parlor gist that many people talk and say Africans when they leave their home countries and they travel abroad, you know, they find it difficult to actually collaborate, to actually pursue a bigger ambition, maybe a business or something of that nature. So it's worrisome if that's what is obtainable in our climate. But one thing that is important for us to know is that collaboration is really important, not even in this time that we are in, because we need access to a bigger pool of resource, and only one person can potentially not be able to deliver that.
Yeah.
So, and of course, with skill, what should I say, capital, social capital again, because if I'm coming together, if I'm coming synergizing with someone on my own account, I have my own kind of social capital that I can bring forward for business advantage. Same thing as my potential partner has his own or her own social or economic capital that he or she can bring forward to the table. And I imagine the combination of that obviously is going to deliver much more in terms of the outcome. And of course, accountability, because I recently spoke to one of my mentors and he told me that one of the things you should avoid is not being in the place where people or someone can actually acknowledge your efforts.
Mm,
It can be a lonely drive if you are actually tugging the boat of business alone and
mm,
nobody's actually looking at your blind spots to say, look, this is something that I think we need to pursue. Sometimes it's just the ginger, honestly. It's
yeah.
just the spark behind your tail that, you know what, let's get this thing. And that fuels your energy to pursue. So in many ways, the merits far outweighs the demerits in terms of partnership. Good partnerships, by the way, common goals, common vision, common aspiration, all of that just sort of is explosive, the outcome, yeah, I would say. So I will encourage anybody listening to form great partnerships with
Mm,
people of like minds, people that,
yeah.
have shared vision towards something. It's a great achievement.
Yeah, thanks for that. So what would you say? Because I feel like I mean, I'm one of the people that I'm very discerning. So maybe I won't get hurt too quickly in terms of forming partnerships. I think that's also come from maybe me trusting that I've been able to make the right decisions over the years with the people I have around me, in terms of whether it's forming partnerships or people, my core that I can brainstorm things with. But what would you say are key watchouts for people that maybe they've fallen into wrong partnerships, before, and so that is kind of a limiting factor that is now holding them back from breaking through in business because, like you said, it's always good to have. I mean, if there is the possibility to have partners,
Mm,
you should go for it. But then some people have done that and they've been burnt. So
mm.
what would you say are key watchouts for such people? I mean, I don't think they should be discouraged. I feel like one bad incident doesn't mean that you would always be unlucky in that area of partnership. So what should people be looking out for when they wanna for people that have been hurt, especially before, or maybe things didn't go well with their partnerships? What should they be? What are the key watch outs that they should look out for if they want to go back into such?
Well, first thing is to encourage them to go back in the first place because you can't cut off your right hand. Cutting off your right hand means you're trying to avoid partnership altogether, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So let's get that mindset fixed first. And then now the key things to look out for. I'll just be a humanist to say that one of the key things to look out for is character.
Mm,
Character, competence, and commitment. They are
mm,
very, very important, you know, important configuration in the persona of the person that you want to be in partnership with.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Notice that I didn't mention religion
yeah.
because again, we are coming from a very religious environment, many Africans, you
Mm,
know, and this kind of clouds our judgment. It is with respect to making those choices. It's a wholesale choice to make,
mm,
and you don't want to just go into it emotionally. It's important to
yeah.
actually look at, just have a dashboard view of who this person is. Why am I going to be in partnership with this person? Does the person have the right character? Is the person committed to the cause? Does the person have the right competence? Because again, because your wife is your life partner, well, obviously you might want to do business with your wife, but there are some businesses you might think about that you'll be like, this is me just being, you know,
Yeah, yeah. Why not?
that.
Go ahead.
So there are some businesses that you'd be like, you know what, I'm drawing value from this person on account of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can potentially bring values together and then achieve these results.
Mm.
I don't know if you understand what I mean.
There's
So
nothing wrong with that, by the way. Yeah,
yeah, there is
yeah.
absolutely nothing wrong with
There should
that.
always be value. I
There
mean,
should
yeah.
always value must be the constant factor in making that, in determining that whatsoever. I've
Mm,
seen business marriages, I call it business marriage, that one person brings the money, the other person brings the expertise, and then they come together, they sort of, collaborate and then make magic happen.
yeah, yeah.
Some other people, they don't even bring money because in accounts, there's what they call cash and cash equivalents. You know,
Mm-hmm.
going concern, the business is going to continue. But the point is that what I'm trying to say is that cash equivalent now is not even money in the pockets or money in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it can just be connect, as we call it in Niger. It can
Yeah,
just be that access to talent that
yeah.
that person has. Maybe the person, people respect him. Oh, if you call him, he's going to call them. He has access to.
They have access to resources. And whether
And maybe
it's
the other
people, whether
person,
it's money,
whether
whether,
it's people,
yeah,
whether it's money, whether it's, raw
yeah,
material, it can be anything.
yeah, yeah.
So it's just,
Access.
yeah, access.
Mm,
You know, access to justice is a
mm,
form of value because, again, peculiarities of the environment might require that you have somebody who has access to justice to be
yeah,
on your team.
yeah.
So,
Mm,
and again, partnership is not just a combination of two people. Maybe that's where we are also missing out in terms of the context of partnership.
mm,
Partnership can also mean a combination of three, four, five people with shared vision
yeah,
to
yeah,
pursue something bigger than them. You
yeah.
know, they bring the resources, they chart the course of the direction where the team is heading to, and everybody pursues or fulfill their end of the bargain with respect to the agreement. So if you want to get into any partnership, look out for competence, character, and their commitment to the cause. And I believe you won't make the mistake of, you won't repeat the mistake.
Yeah, that's so good. Any last words on partnerships? You know, we can't overemphasize it for people that you want to go far. You want to, I will bring a bit of Bible into it. I would say one will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,
100%.
right? So if you want to really achieve a lot more, the chances are way bigger if you have a partner. That's just the truth. Bigger resources, bigger capital, bigger so many things. Even like you talked about blind spots. Like there's so many things that we ignore. Sometimes businesses crash because
Yeah,
people are worried about telling you things that are so visible about your business. People cannot tell you the truth. But if you have a partner, the partner should be able to come and say, this part of our business is weak and we need to work on it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I like that you mentioned all of that. Any final words on partnerships, building partnerships abroad? Mm.
Um, I would say that I'm being humanist again. Let me
And I would,
say,
I would say you can touch on trust as well.
uh,
And
you read my mind. You absolutely read my mind. You read my mind. This is sorcery. Anyway, so I was just about to get into the concept or the idea of trust. You
Mm,
see, that's why I started with say I'll be a humanist to talk about this.
mm,
You see, there's what they call kindness in business. It's not always a dog eat dog situation.
mm,
You know, sometimes it's important to look out for the back of our partners because
mm,
again, we are pursuing something bigger than us.
yeah.
So trust is a key element in the mix-up because
Okay.
absence of trust is actually mistrust. And of course, if you do not trust the person or whoever is involved in it, I don't see any way forward in the first place.
Yeah.
So a critical element, apart from competence, character, and commitment, is your ability to actually trust the person and the ability of that person to confer the same trust
You.
on you. So again, this means that you must be trustworthy as the person, because again, you are looking out for a partner or partnerships. Are you really a partner yourself? It's a rhetorical question that I think many
Mm-hmm.
partners they
Mm-hmm.
should ask themselves.
Are you
It's not
worthy
about,
of being a partner? Do
are
you
you
have
really worthy?
trust? Can I trust you?
Yes.
Mm.
Can you be trusted? I've seen many people, Nigerian settings, for example, they just have a gentleman arrangement or agreement around some businesses, and
Mm.
somebody takes away all the benefits.
Okay, partner.
It happens. These things happen. So
Yeah.
and I suspect that might have been where the mindsets or the cesspool of I don't want to be in any sort of arrangement with any other African is coming from.
Mm.
For example, the British setting, the British society itself is a trust society. I will say this because there are no guardrails as to, in my office, for example, nobody monitors you, nobody micromanages you. They expect
Mm.
that you will deliver on your word. Do
Yeah.
you understand? But like in Nigeria, everybody is looking out. So trust is a big
Checking
thing.
their back that are you doing what you
Are you
promised?
doing what you've committed to? Are
Yeah.
you being, so as as a collective, the
Mhm.
aggregate mindset of of us, we sort of need to fix that first, and then it's easier for us to navigate this whole trust thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that because, this trust thing, and I like that you even said that, the system here, is built on trust.
Absolutely.
A lot of the policies, even on immigration, even on so many
Immigration,
things,
yeah.
is based on trust.
Trust,
And so
yeah.
what the government, I feel like, has realized in recent times is that can we really still continue to trust? And unfortunately or fortunately, it's not a one day thing to then begin to change policies. And so the matter of trust in business, in economy, in everything, especially in this part of the world, is really important because people are going to be relating with you based on trust. And so this
Trust.
is why you have to protect yourself by looking out when you're choosing a partner to make sure that it's
100%.
somebody you can trust so you don't get beaten, right? Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that was such a good point. Thank you for ending on that solid note. So, character, commitment, competence, and get somebody that is trustworthy if you want to build
100%.
a lasting business. Thank you so much, Kolade. It's been a pleasure having you. Again, if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section and we will be right there to answer your questions. Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys.